Drone racing. Born from the convergence of speed and technology, where pilots use a controller to guide a drone through a three-dimensional race course, reaching speeds of up to 90 miles per hour.
Hello, and welcome to DR1 Micro Series presented by Airhawk. I'm your host, Josh Dean. Now, we here at DR1 Racing have done a pretty cool thing.
We have gathered 5 of the best micro drone racing teams in the world.
It's like a video game on steroids.
On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us.
We flew the pilots into Los Angeles, California.
See you, man. You too. Welcome to California.
What's happening, gentlemen?
When did you leave?
6 a.m. this morning.
We've been traveling to races for a long time. We know each other's style, we know each other's humor.
Friends and rivals joined together to race for a one-of-a-kind trophy.
Taking home that trophy.
A $5,000 cash prize.
I'm always here to win.
And, of course, bragging rights to the world premiere of the DR1 Micro Series race, presented by Airhawk.
Just practice, 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 practice. So many batteries.
I'm gonna fly wherever I go.
But what will our pilots be flying? Micro drones. For more information on micro drones, let's go down to engineering and our resident champions pilot, Tommy Tabahia. Tommy?
All right, thanks, Josh. So let's talk about drones here real quick. This right here is a mini quad capable of going about 90 miles an hour. Crashing into something with one of these, definitely gonna leave a mark. But today, we're gonna be racing with micro drones. These guys at 25 grams, pushing 15 to 20 miles an hour, crash into something, you just keep right on going. Now, there's over 30 micro drone companies worldwide. But today, we're focusing on the Tiny Whoop. So let's talk about what makes this special. Batteries from MyLipo, high voltage, 255 milliamps. Motors by Tiny Whoop. They call them the secret special sauce. And controlling the micro drones is the radio from Spectrum, the VX6E, with a simple interface and nice gimbals. Now, you might be wondering, how do you pilot one of these drones? And if you take notice, there's an actual camera right there, smack dab in the middle of the camera. And this camera is transmitting video to these goggles that every single pilot is wearing, as if you're sitting right on top of the drone. Now, you've seen all the micro drones, let's go meet the pilots.
For Team Tiny Whoop, Jesse P. Perkins,
People call me the creator of the Tiny Whoop.
and Ashton Redline Godfrey.
I've been flying for about 8 months. It's not much.
For Team Airhogs, Johnny FPV Share,
I actually stopped going to college to do this full time.
and Mike Chin Chiller Chin.
I compete for myself 100%. I always had to be the best.
For Team Airviews, Shane Humboldt 710 Trawi,
It's probably because I'm a bigger guy and they're a little scared of me, but I think I do come to win.
and Colby SFPV Curtola.
Yeah, I mean, when the goggles go down, you're not thinking about anything but just winning the race.
For Team Lumineer, Cody Code Red Madsen,
I just walk softly and carry a big stick.
and Kane Mad Air Madair.
I've been flying RC things since I was 6 years old.
For Team Spectrum, Phil Freybot.
So, like, with the modeling thing, they like to make fun of it, because I'm not the normal drone racing guy, but I don't care.
And Bapu FPV Madhu.
I don't let the pressure get to me in any way in any competition.
We've teleported the pilots here to DR1's very own spaceship, the USS Defiance. You may recognize this ship as a former set from the hit TV series Firefly, but today it will be the setting for an amazing micro drone race.
Pilots launch their microdrones from the cockpit and do a slight jog into the main hall corridor. Making a right into the back hall, they form up for their first run through the glass tube, an 18-inch wide tunnel extending 30 feet into the airlock. They exit the airlock and drop into the Luminaire cryo chamber before crossing in front of the cockpit and entering the Tiny Whoop hyperspace tunnel, a 2-foot wide channel inside the heart of the ship. They come out in the back corridor and make another right into the glass tube. They exit into the airlock and go right into the main hall corridor for lap 3. Lap 3 takes them through familiar territory, the main hall corridor and the back hall. Then they enter the glass tube for the third and final time. The pilots now exit the airlock and head to the main hall corridor for the fourth and final lap. They speed down the 50-foot hall, and instead of going right, they turn left and left again into the Tiny Whoop hyperspace tunnel before turning and crossing the finish line in front of their teammates.
Flying is definitely something I would consider as in my blood.
I think the top pilots here, if I'm not being too cocky, are Ashton and myself, but then also Kane, Johnny, and Colby might be the fastest pilot right now. So
I think Jesse Jesse's going to be the person to beat just because he spends so much time flying.
I'm feeling more comfortable than I ever have on this course. I know Ashton is too. We are ready for this.
Here's how it will work. Each pilot will earn points as an individual. 4 pilots will fly in each heat. Each heat will have a different combination of racers. The winner will get 10 points, second place 8 points, third place 6 points, and fourth place 3 points. If a pilot crashes and does not finish, no points will be awarded. After 10 heats, the top 2-point earning teams will go to the final while the bottom 3 battle it out in a wild card round.
Let's get into qualifying Heat 1.
Pilots, goggles down. In less than 5. Go!
And out of the gate, Tiny Whoop and Airhawk battle for first, with Spectrum and Luminaire bringing up the rear going into the back quarter. Jesse from Tiny Whoop has the lead as he enters the glass tube. Cody Matson from Luminaire slipped ahead of Phil Frybot into third place entering lap 2. As Luminaire blasts past the cockpit into the main hall corridor, Frybot works on how to salvage this race. He hits the gas and another victim of the Spectrum security hexgate. In the meantime, Jesse Perkins is shot ahead through lap 4, tearing through the Tiny Warp hyperspace tunnel and across the finish line for the win! Close behind, Johnny Shayer for Airhogs brings in second place. Cody Matson does not give up, however, and collects 6 points for Luminaire by placing third. And Spectrum, unfortunately, will receive no points after getting knocked out in the second lap.
Qualifying Heat 1 is in the books. Jesse Perkins gets 10 points for Tiny Whoop, followed by the Airhogs' Johnny Scher. In third was Cody Matson from Luminaire, and Team Spectrum's Phil Frybot crashed on lap 2 and will get no point. We'll be back with more incredible flying, epic crashes, and memorable battles
next time.
I do quite well under pressure. Obviously, when there's money on the line, a big production like this, it gets kind of scary at times, but just staying calm and doing what I do.
Hopefully Johnny FPV is feeling the right amount of pressure, because while we were away, we raced qualifying heats 2, 3, 4, and 5, and here are the results.
Team Luminaire in first place with 30 points, trailed by Tiny Whoop and Airviews, both tied at 28. They are followed by Spectrum at 22, with the Airhogs in last place with 16 points.
Heat 6 was more of the same, with Jesse Perkins and Tiny Whoop crossing the finish line first. Heat 7 featured a battle between Airview's Shane Trawick and Luminaire's Kane Madre, with Kane finishing on top. In Heat 8, Colby Cortola led the entire race, but was pressured by Team Spectrum's Phil Frybot, who ended up second. Heat 9 featured some incredible flyers. In the end, Johnny Shear finally got his revenge, beating both Jesse Perkins and Shane Trawick. Heat 10. In the final heat, Kane Madre of Luminaire shredded the competition. His third first-place finish put the Luminaires on top of the leaderboard after 10 heats.
All right, guys, that was the end of the main rounds. You guys went through 10 heats, and the top 2 teams, Luminaire and Airviews.
Yeah.
60 points. It's not over yet, because the wild card round is 1 single heat, 1 pilot. You guys decide. Tiny Whoop, who's it gonna be?
Easy, this guy right here.
I think it's gonna be me.
What came to this decision?
He's got some first places.
Yeah,
man,
so far I'm 3 firsts and 1 fourth.
He's gonna do it.
And I beat Johnny twice. So no, I beat him 3 times.
Oh,
I got Johnny 3 times.
Rubbing in some more. Johnny's been taking a lot of abuse. I kind of feel bad for the kid. Jesse's, for whatever reason, has picked him out of the pack, and I think because Jesse feels threatened by him.
Let's move on. Spectrum, you guys are also in the bottom 3. What's the decision?
We're gonna go with Mr. Frybot.
All right, and why is Mr. Frybot going to
His
be
last run was his
mean,
best run. He
yeah,
was just a second behind first place, so he ended stronger than I did. So he's the man to do the job for us.
And Jesse and Johnny, I mean, piece of cake. So.
Easy. Which moves on to the last team, Airhogs. Who's it going to be?
We've chose Johnny because he's consistent today, and I am not.
Shane has put in the reins in my hands. I'm gonna see what I can do.
All right, gentlemen. Well, good luck. Wild card round. Up next.
Next up is our wild card round. The Luminaires and Airview are already in the final. Now, one race is going to determine who will join them. Flying for Tiny Whoop is the favorite Jesse Perkins, who has been dominating in the qualifiers, but his team just missed out on the top 2. Then we have Johnny FPV from Airhogs. He has quite a friendly rivalry going with Jesse, and he is out to avenge his earlier losses. And our third pilot is Phil Frybot from Team Spectrum. He certainly showed some confidence when he stepped up to fly. Let's see if he can back it up.
In less than 5. Go!
And they are off! Out of the gate, Airhogs and Tiny Whoop are battling it out neck and neck with Spectrum a close third, going into the glass tube. It's anybody's race in lap 1, but Jesse of Tiny Whoop seems to be getting banged around a little bit at the Spectrum Security Hex Gate A. Tiny Whoop drops to last place as Airhogs and Spectrum fight their way into the Lumiere Cairo chamber. Tiny Whoop is still hitting a lot of surfaces, but you have to hand it to Jesse Perkins. His micro drone is still in the race. He's usually rock steady, but he hits the airlock and is spinning out of control.
Jesse down.
Jesse Perkins, one of the favorites to win this competition, is out.
All good, Jesse.
What an upset for Jesse and his teammate Ashton. But back on the course, Johnny Shayer is in the lead for Airhogs. Entering the Tiny Whoop hyperspace tunnel, if he holds steady, he will put Airhogs in the final.
You're right there.
But he is being hunted through lap 2 by Phil Frybot of Spectrum as he chases Johnny back into the glass tube. Phil races into lap 3 just behind Johnny, and his teammate Bapu is there for support.
Push it.
Airhogs is starting to pull away from Spectrum in lap 3, but one mistake by Johnny Shayer could change everything because Phil Frybot refuses to give up trying to find any edge he can. Both pilots fly a clean line through the Spectrum Security Hex Gate, and Spectrum is less than 2 seconds behind, but here comes Johnny across the finish line, and Airhogs are going to the final. What a crazy race, and what an upset as Jesse Perkins of Tiny Whoop crashes out.
Dude. What happened to kill all day, man. That's really unfortunate. I had 2 crashes. I had a crash at the beginning. We prop watched. I think it was you and I. I somehow recovered.
So there you have it. Johnny Shayer and the Airhogs are going to the final. Spectrum is second, and Jesse Perkins and Tiny Whoop comes in third. Let's go down to Tommy, who's with the racers right now.
Guys, wildcard round, that was crazy. Phil, oh my goodness, man, you were blazing fast. What was going on in your head?
Dude, that was an intense race. Both of those guys super fast, and we got all 3 together at the first dive. That was pretty tight. And then, I don't know if I got second or third, but
you got
close second.
You got it. It was almost there. Second. But not close enough because Johnny with Airhogs is bringing it into the finals. Congratulations. Good job. So we got Airhogs, Team Lumineer, and Team Airviews going to the finals.
Yeah, do it.
Alright guys, welcome to the final round.
Yeah.
Top 3 teams, Lumineer, Airhogs, and Airviews. Alright, hold on. There's some decisions that need to be made. Lumineer, let's start with you. Kane.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I'm gonna take Kane on.
Oh.
I don't know. I think I can take him for sure.
Feeling confident. Johnny's going for Team Airhogs.
Yep.
First heat. Great. Airviews, what are you guys doing?
When Colby think I'll prop wash these 2 clowns out of the air.
Confidence. You know what? I want to see this. Let's get this started, guys. Final round. Pilots, get your goggles on. Let's get to the finals.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Okay, it's heat 1 of the finals. Our scoring system will stay the same, except the stakes are higher. First place pilot will get 10 points for his team. Second place will get 8 points, and third place will earn 6 points. Remember, if anyone crashes and fails to finish the course, they'll get 0 points, which will put their team in a tough spot.
Heat 1 is Kane Madeira for Luminaire, Johnny Shayer for Airhogs, and Kirby Curtola for Airviews.
Final line going in less than 5.
Go! And there they go. Out of the gate, Airhogs are in first place. Lumiere in second, and Airviews bringing up the third. Lumiere slips around the first corner ahead of Airhogs and takes the lead.
Race safe, Johnny.
Then Airhogs Johnny Shayer drops the third as Airviews takes second. If he can race safe like Mike Chin says, then Airhogs might have a chance of... Oh, what? Johnny Shayer with a suicide crunch into the bulkhead. How the mighty have literally fallen. For Airviews, first place Colby Curtola focuses in, fighting off a massive challenge from Kane Madre.
Kane gets the edge, but Cortola is giving him no room to breathe whatsoever. As they turn into the glass tube in lap 2, oh no! Kirby Cortola clipped the ceiling and is down. Cortola, still hoping for a miracle. And he's back up. Airviews is still in this. But now, all eyes turn to Kane Madeira for Luminaire. Kane Madeira can afford no mistakes as he races through the glass tube and blasts through the Spectrum security hex gate. Now making his final run past the cockpit and up the main hall corridor. And there he goes across the finish line with a win for Luminaire! A good clean first heat win for Luminaire. And here comes Colby Cortola in second place. Even though he crashed on the course, he got his micro drone back in the race, and that is going to get Airview's 8 points.
Freaking Bigfoot over here.
Dude, I was pissed. What happened? I sucked. I crashed somewhere you shouldn't crash. Trying to go to him.
Okay, here are the results for the first heat. Kane Madeira got 10 points for Team Lumineers. Colby Cortola crashed, but managed to get up and finish the course, getting 8 points for Airviews. And that crash by Johnny Shear cost his team dearly.
Alright guys, heat 1 of the finals is over, but remember, it is 8 points game. So even though Kane took first, all you guys still got a chance. So if you've got sweaty palms, you better dry them off because heat 2 is starting right now.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys. Go get him.
Okay, that was a great first heat. Kane put on quite a show. Now let's see what his teammate Cody Matson can do. He's been flying micro drones for 3 years, and no race has been important as this. Up for our second place team is Shane Trawick. He was very consistent in the qualifying rounds with 3 seconds and a crash. And flying for our third place team is Mike Chin. He's had a second, a third, and 2 crashes in the qualifying heat, so he needs to step it up here.
In less than 5.
Round 2. Right out of the gate, Mike Chin takes a confident lead for Airhogs. But Shane Trawick with Airviews isn't having it. Keeping right on top of the first place. Oh! Luminaire smashed full speed into the Spectrum security hex gate. Cody Matson is pissed. That leaves Shane Trawick and Mike Chin on the course to battle it out. Up the vertical junction, and oh what? Airview's conked out. Unbelievable.
Chin, finish, just finish.
Mike Chin from Airhogs now owns this course. All he has to do is focus and not make a mistake. Oh man! Mike Chin banged his way down the Luminaire Cairo chamber and somehow made it out in one piece. He swings through the cockpit, entering lap 2.
Lap 2. Are they both down?
Both down, Chin.
As we watch Mike Chin go into the Tiny Whoop hyperspace tunnel. This must be more pressure than racing against other people. Everything is on the line. Turn by turn, it's getting more intense. Now, another run through the glass tube, the Spectrum security hex gate. He's demonstrating his skills as a pilot as he flies so smooth through the airlock in the Spectrum security hex gate 2. Turning into the main hall corridor, Mike Chin starts lap 3, fueled by the knowledge that the only thing Mike Chin needs to be worried about is Mike Chin. One last time through the Spectrum security gate checkpoint 2. The teams watch Mike Chin, Team Airhogs, soar unopposed past the co-pilot area and into the final run. Kobe Matson is so bummed. But this moment is all about Airhogs and Mike Chin as he maneuvers through the last lap, cool as ice. Victory is his as he crosses the finish line to become the only pilot to complete Heat 2 of the finals.
Good job, guys.
Good job, buddy. No. What did you crash out on?
Dude, I hit, I don't know. I just kind of was like swinging.
I crashed right around the dive gate.
Did you?
Yeah.
I almost screwed up the dive gate.
Okay, here are the results of the second heat. Mike Chin basically flew the last 3 laps by himself to give the Airhogs 10 points. Both Cody Matson and Shane Trawick crashed early and got 0 points for their team. So here's a look at the scoreboard after 2 heats.
Let's give it up for the winner of this heat, Mr. Mike Chin. Shane, you went down. What happened?
I was going for the dive gate, and I think I either hit something or I got into some prop wash or something of my own and just couldn't pull out of it.
All right. Cody, I saw you flip over and got back up, but then flipped over again. What's going on?
Man, I didn't know what was happening. When I first popped up, I kind of came back towards me a little bit, like it was pulling, and I didn't have it, man. I messed up.
All right, guys, this is the crazy part. So we did a tally, all right? Woo, okay, right? Airhogs and Lumineer, you guys are tied at 10 points, okay? Air views, you're only behind at 8 points. What that means is that this next race will win the whole thing. Unless air views, if you guys win, the person who comes in second place will be a race off.
Wow.
You guys ready? I want to see a race off. Let's get Heat 3 started. Let's do it.
Okay, it all comes down to this. 10 of the best pilots in the world have raced 10 qualifying heats, 1 wild card race, and 2 heats of the final. And it's still anyone's race. Remember, there's $5,000 on the line, but the real prize here is bragging rights as the best micro drone racing team in the world.
All right, guys, we're going to do the final round.
Heat 3 is Kane Madeira for Luminaire, Johnny Scher for Air Hogs, and Kirby Kurtola for Air Views.
Let's get this race started in less than 5. Go!
And here we go! Right out of the gate, we have Luminaire in first place, followed close by Air Views. Mike Chin, who won the last heat, is hoping for a payoff, but right now Air Hogs are in third. Can Johnny Scher find an edge going into lap 2 in the hyperspace tunnel? Kobe and Kane battle neck and neck. All eyes are on Air Views. Can Kirby Kurtola close the gap and force another race? Air Views chasing Luminaire down through the glass tube and the Spectrum security gates. The pressure is so intense right now. Racing past the cockpit, starting into lap 3. Up the main hall corridor, Luminaire and Air Views locked in an epic dogfight, but it looks like Luminaire has the edge going into lap 4. Oh, Air Views shoots ahead at the last second with the final challenge. Oh my god, Air Views forcing a run-up. Wait, no! Luminaire blast back. It's Luminaire! Ladies and gentlemen, a finish, and the prize and the glory goes to Luminaire.
Let's look at the replay. We're riding along with Kane Madre as he leads at the start of lap 4. Now here goes Colby Kerfola of Airview slipping past Kane at the Spectrum security gate. We'll stay with Kane as he chases down Colby just as they cross the finish line. Now let's look at that replay again, this time from Colby's point of view. Here he is chasing Kane, and he takes the lead at the start of lap 4. He's riding a smooth line, but somehow Kane tracks him down and slips right past him at the finish line. Incredible.
All right, get over here. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Matson and Kane Madeira, Team Luminaire, the DR1 Micro Series champions. That is not all that you get. No, because it might be micro drones, and it might be a micro check, but it is big bucks, $5,000. All right, so from Tommy Tabahia and myself, Josh Dean, this has been the DR1 Micro Series presented by Air Hogs. Once again, your champions, Team Luminaire!